Cheers.
on Culture Vultures.
Thank you.
Sylvia, so from comedy to art.
Yes, we are going to art. We're going to a female artist. Today I chose Nicola Anthony. I got to know her in London, but now she works and lives in Singapore. In fact, she works and lives in both. She kind of goes on and off between the two. When I visited her studio in London, it was covered with drawings and lots of glass bits, lots of glass cubes, and there was a hint of resin in the area. I thought, yeah, that's okay, it's creative. And that's why, because she makes the sculptures from glass resin and other materials. She uses words as sculpting tools, as well as sentences to draw with. She uses stamp tools to create textures on paper, to draw whatever she feels like. For example, I'll mention Mneme, a drawing she did. Mneme means a goddess of memory, and she did that purely with a stamp date tool. So her hair, everything, every little detail, eyelashes is done with a stamp tool, which is quite fascinating. Yeah. She's interested in literature, obviously, and also deconstructing and constructing the sentences and language in itself. But also she is interested in the Rubik's Cube, funnily enough. And that was inspiration for her piece called Rubik's Years, which is a piece made from glass resin and glass as well. In fact, you can see that one over there.
That looks stunning.
It's a stunningly beautiful piece. It took her more than 2 months, in fact, to produce this one.
Not surprising.
Yes. And as I mentioned, the Rubik's Cube, the idea of Rubik's Cube, did you know that there are 43 quintillion pop options how to do the Rubik's Cube?
No, I didn't.
And there is 18 zeros.
Is that a word? Quintillion.
I learned that it's 18 zeros behind 43.
Right.
She uses that as a metaphor of how many options there are, how many ways to do things. It's just kind of a metaphor for that. There's a detail in her work which she really pays attention to. The green bits you can see on the picture, they are in fact the dates, the stamped dates. And there's only one way you can see. There is a circle. If you look in only one direction, it's a particular angle you've got to be at. They join together and in a circle. So it's kind of a specific thing. You can only view that. You're very lucky if you find it. In fact, I can't remember if I saw it in a circle.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we know how many pieces there are in
There are
this?
hundreds. There are hundreds. It took her over 2 months.
Yeah,
And it's probably
100
about
cubes then.
Yes, probably 250 or something like that.
Right.
Maybe I should mention that she now is working in this new series of, again, texturing and layering. She's using banknotes, for example, almost like using scalpel and cutting them up in pieces. And so they're very intricate, detail-based
She's obviously got a lot of
work.
money if she's using banknotes.
There is a lot of issues going on with the arts funding, and I think she also writes for arts, and she's kind of expressing her way of looking at the funding and exploring that in critical work as well. But she's definitely someone I recommend to look at. If you want to see more of her work, you're very welcome to go to her website, Nicola with C, Anthony, ANTHONY.com, and there's plenty to look at, including lots of images.
Wonderful.
And that
I
one
need to
as
see
well.
what she's doing with those banknotes, I can tell you. I'm actually going to be her assistant when she's using that material. Thank you so much, Sylvia.
Pleasure.
As always, we've run out of time. There's just too many things to talk about right here on Culture Vultures. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And we'll be with you next week, as always, same time, same place. A big thank you to Quincy the comedian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jill Fisher and Silvia Krupinska were also here. You'll see them again with me next time.